Now I know what you're thinking, and the answer might surprise you. Hey peeps, it's Perk, and today we are back with a Storytime Saturday. It's Tuesday. Yes, I understand that it's Tuesday. I know this. But last time I had to end it in an awkward spot, and it wasn't because like the story taking. It was really more or less like I didn't have the time because I literally had to be to work in the next day, and I was bad at my own time management. But recently a lot of things have kind of fucked up as far as just where the YouTube channel was. So I ended up being in an odd spot where I said, you know what, fuck it, this thing, the past couple weeks have been unconventional, so let's make this an unconventional week altogether. So with that, this Thursday we'll have a new series premiering, as well as there will be a live stream that'll go on that will be premiering my new series, another new series that'll be on the channel. So it's gonna be a lot of new, but as well I've also got some other stuff that's been meaning to go up for a while that I just again couldn't find the spot for because I wanted stuff to end at a certain time, and because the internet and stuff, it didn't go up as exactly as I wanted. But I know you guys don't care that much, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna finish Lucid9 tonight. Now this is I know this is odd because one, it's not story time, it's not a Saturday and I'm putting up a story time, but I kind of want to just finish this. I kind of just want to finish this so that we can start something new. So of course there will be a new story time this Saturday, and it's gonna be dope. I'm really excited. So all that being said, guys, let's jump right back into where we were at Lucid9. Now we had finished the main story stuff. We put our fucking psychologist in goddamn jail. Somehow he lived through being stabbed in the chest, if I remember correctly. But nonetheless, Shigure came and talked to us. It was really dope. So it was a really good time. A lot of feel-good moments. But of course we haven't chosen our suitor as far as females go. And as well, we were having our little victory party, hosted by Yako because he's a rich motherfucker. So we're gonna go ahead and continue exactly where we left off. Now, we were playing a game of more or less Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm really excited to see how this goes, because we all picked areas of expertise, and it's going to be funny to me, I think, at least. So we're speaking as Ari right now. You receive a letter promising power and prestige if you will simply enter the Caravan Tower at 20 hours and ask for Ion. What shall you do? Go, of course. Ought not waste a moment of time. I agree. Full steam ahead, people. Well, power and prestige, it's all fun and dandy, but where's the money involved, huh? Heister, see all where curve is them shinies, huh? She's barely understandable. I'm not putting up with this throughout the entire RP. Wait, Akira, if it's steampunk, we should all speak in British accents. If looks could kill, Elizabeth would currently be a murderer. I never got to tell you guys. So I started listening to Pride and Prejudice because they kept mentioning it to each other, and I really wanted to find out what all the fuss was about. So I've been listening to it on Audible. It's really dope. I'm actually enjoying it a lot more than I thought. It's a lot of sassiness. There's a lot of sassiness in that book. Old-timey sassiness, which made it even funnier to me. But, sassiness nonetheless. I just thought I'd mention that. I wanted to mention that like 3 episodes ago, but I never got around to it because so much interesting stuff started to take precedence. So, squirrel's attention span and all that good shit. Don't you dare, Yama Ishimoto. Oh, that was not English. Fuck it. Tally-ho, we've done quite the bang-up job on our character creations, if I do say so myself. Akira and Rui apparently don't notice that I'm teasing. They only light up with excitement. That is a splendid idea. Why, I do believe you've landed upon something quite profound, Yama Ishimoto. Elizabeth buries her face in her hands. But the pair continues on, oblivious. Oh, this is great. This is great. Also, again, I love that their UI changes from person to person as each of them talks. Like, if you look over to the left, I know I don't get to notice and call out every time, but every time we speak, one of them lights up on the little HUD, since we have those little visual things that Yahuko got us because he's a rich motherfucker, and his parents are super successful. But nonetheless, well, Rui, under these circumstances, it would be prudent to meet this person together, would it not? Oh yes, indubitably, I quite agree. Ari cuts in with her solid monotone, earning Elizabeth some relief. Elizabeth, Misaki, Akira, and Rui are en route, and... Well, it wouldn't be a party without the great Yahuko Akari. Yeah, I'm going too. Sure, why not? Very well. Oh, it also says registered game master. That's really cool. Excuse me while I advertise for my brother's school, because I totally care about college. Ari closes her eyes, contemplating for a moment, then opens them with renewed fervor. En route to the fated tavern, you suddenly encounter a rabid horde of cretinous dingbats. What? It's something Shigure says often. And suddenly I'm not surprised anymore. Oh yeah, I'm also an engineer and limit site code, mana. Oh, that's really cool. I'm not surprised anymore. Prepare for battle. Tokens spring up on our monitors, representing rows of hard-faced, cretinous dingbat. Hold up, citizens. Stand back. This is a job for President J. Graves. Grover Mecker, mobilize! You have no ability by that title. Then I unleash fiery storm of death, for I am the alchemist. Ladies and gentlemen, power gaming at its finest. I see. Roll. Yahuko does so. Oh, that's really cool. Motherfucker rolled a 1. Oh. You drop your spell book on your toe. What? Sorry, man, but you gotta stick to being a model. Error 404, model class does not exist. Maybe it'll work out if he models as an alchemist. No, I protest. These dice must be weighted. But they're digital, Yahuko. They can't be weighted. Look, let's just have a melee in front, ranged in the back, and Rui in the far back. This matter should be fairly simple, considering that it's the first battle in the game. Okay, what exactly do I do? You gotta play for us, Rui. You gotta play for us, Rui. We'll keep you safe. Yeah, and Yama will protect you. Or Masato, you know, whoever. I still think Masato had some sort of crush on Rui. I'm just saying, I'm throwing that out there. I know that was my personal theory earlier. I still kind of believe it, just a little bit. A bar boosts team stats and morale. If you roll high, you may even provide others with an extra turn. Wow, I sound so useful. You do know that's essentially you just plucking around on a wood and metal, right? Shut up, Yama. Right, let's start this battle before everything turns to rubbish. Ari, I fire at the dodgy tosser by the front. Dodgy tosser. Shut up, Yama. God damn. I think your accent is really cool. Thank you. Whew, 17. Oh, this is good. She rolls on the monitor. For once, it's actually a high number. Direct hit, musketeer. The cretinous dingbat crumples into dust of ignorance whence it came from. The cretinous dingbat crumples into the dust of ignorance whence it came. I'm pretty sure that phrase also came from Shigure. Then I'll attack the nearby enemies. Ooh. 14. She rolls another decent hit. Another cretinous dingbat has fallen by the blade of the night. Huh, as if these dingbats could ever handle me. In that case, I slit the throat of the one in the back. She's not gonna roll very high. Oh! And with a final high roll, the cretinous dingbats fall beneath the crooked blade of the heister. I take it back. Okay, Akira, we see you swagging today. You swagging today. Only one cretinous dingbat remains. I got it with my scalpel. You're a cleric, Masato. I don't think you should get anyone near those enemies. Psst. You banging on my medical school? I'll show you. No. You scratched the cretinous dingbat. Scratch! I told you so. Well, it wasn't terrible at least. Ah. Poor Masato. He must be used to winning from acting out RPs instead of rolling for them. Yama, you should move. Huh? Oh, yeah. I consider my options for a moment. I could just fire at it with a pistol, I guess, but that seems kind of bland. What's the cretinous dingbat made of? Cogs, gears, and steam. Okay, I take the nearest pipe and stick it into the mechanism to jam it. Huh, that's an innovative idea. But why do something so boring when you can make it explode into a ball of fire? Because I might drop my spellbook on my toes. Huh, what kind of dummy would do that? Yahako, we love you. Gee, I wonder. Well, I do so, and... Woo! Nat 20! Good! God damn! That boy good! That boy good! Wow, of all the times to be lucky. 20? Coach Lucky Luckerson! In one swift motion, you thread the pole through the cogs at a critical point. The mechanism locks in place, overheats, and explodes in a ball of fire. What? Congratulations, you have cleared the first battle. Your rewards are... Way held up! No, I cannot let a mere peasant surpass the greatness of Gregory Mecker. Let's just skip to the next battle. Let's just skip to the next battle. What? Yeah, oh, and make it a big one. The final battle. 5 armies clashing upon battlefield of darkness and leading the forces of light is the great hero President J. Grays. Backing away slowly now. Yako's classic antics. I didn't realize how much I appreciated them until now. Very well. You teleport to the final battle, surrounded by enemies on all sides. Wait, what? But we haven't even had the chance to level up. Schnut schmut. That's how you schnuck Daka's mad stuff. We stare at him in silence, completely bewildered by the foreign words spewing out of his mouth. I don't know what that was supposed to be. I don't know why I also make him like Cajun. Because apparently the closest I can get to, you know, barely understanding is Cajun. Because yes. Well, all of us say for one, of course. You do understand that you're a healer, right? You should focus on keeping us alive, not showing off. Masaki's response is quick and forceful, fully understanding that what Masato just said. Mickey, you know what he's saying? Of course I do. You don't? Oh wait, he was speaking street, wasn't he? Speaking street? She's probably referring to the slang that reigns over the poorer districts of Isamu. I guess that Masato's random word vomit is actually street slang. That makes sense. Hey, Megumi, you speak streets too? Masaki. And yes, I suppose I picked it up while I was in District 6. Everyone seems surprised by this revelation. Well, everyone except Rui and I. It sounds so cool. Can you be our translator? Sure. Actually, I'm real touch with my street near kin when this and get fit. You can brush up on your street, but I doubt that it would be any useful. Whoa, how do you understand everything? Masaki shrugs her shoulders. It sort of slipped into my diction, I guess. But that's not important right now. Let's continue the battle. Ah, yes, the very abrupt battle of the 5 armies, all because of Yahako Akari. God, fuck off. Ah, and one detail. What do you got, Ari? Suddenly, a flood of monsters pop up on our sight codes, practically burning our eyes with light. The other 4 armies are allied and fighting you. Because you pissed off the dungeon master, that's why! All 4 armies? Oh gosh, yeah guys, let's not do this. Can't we just go back to the tavern and go through the RP like normal people? You question the will of the great Akari? Fear not, good citizens. President J. Grace can fight this whole horde with one arm behind his back. I'm never going back. The past is in the past. I'm on the doctor. Yes, you are. I take it we're fighting then. Yes. Okay, Ari. Okay, well don't blame me if you all die terrible deaths. Lighten up. It's a game. We're bound to die anyway. We tap on our sight cones and take our positions. Hopefully they're strategically sound. From what I can tell, Ari's at least nice enough to keep the enemies at the same level as us. Hopefully this will actually be beatable. Akira suddenly moves her icon in front of ours, pacing it back and forth like a war general speaking to her unit. A day may come when the courage of the man falls, when we forsake our friends and... No, Akira. Ah, coach, what's the fun in having a final battle if you don't have an epic speech? Why do I suddenly get the feeling that we've had this exchange before? Whatever, make it quick. Fine, I'll make it a little more interesting. Men, women, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your hippopotamuses? Fuck it. Our hippopotamuses! Hippopotami? Hippopotami. Wait, what? This day, we fight! And with that, Ari, I'd like to pickpocket the nearest enemy. Akira's attempt is a failure, but at least she doesn't pay dearly for it. But Ari surprises us by breaking in right after Akira's turn is over. The clockwork goblin on the flank surges forward and attacks Rui. Rui, roll for dodge. Immediately, the token on our screens darts to the vulnerable backline, where Masato and Rui are wide open. Akira, your move left. Akira, your move left backline wide open. Uh-oh. Relax. At the very least, my dex is really high. She presses a finger to the frame of her sight code. Yep. As it inevitably goes, the fateful die lands on our display. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. A 1? Are you serious? Great galloping gophers! How I like alliteration as more than the next guy. How is she so good at it? Like, I need a manual for that. Twould take... Yeah, no, I can't do it. Even with your substantial modifier, Rui, you did not dodge. You must be really unlucky today. No, wait, there's gotta be some kind of mistake. Unfortunately, dear Rui, the mistake seems to be yours. Yako, I know your old dropping spellbooks on your toad looking ass ain't trying to make fun of nobody. No, man, y'all saw your slip, do it up. Masato says everything is your fault, Yahako, and you need to fix it. Me? Me? Why me? You're then pressing for the puncher. You're the one who insisted on having this battle. Okay, I'll fix it. No, wait! I'm sure Yama will be more than happy to revive Rui using mouth to... Akira, I swear, 4 M&Ms if you don't shut the fuck up. I swear! Oh my god. We ain't doing this right now. Alright, fam? We ain't doing this right now. I don't know why I felt the need to put the Kanye emphasis, but I felt like it was necessary. I did it. Huh? One more time for him, huh? I'm sure Yama will be more than happy to revive. What? Yama, roll with strength. Yama, roll with strength, dexterity, constitution, and intelligence modifier. No, in real life. No, we have no physical dice. I mean that he should do CPR on Rui in real life. Akira, I swear to fucking Christ, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. I'm going to slap the ever-loving fuck out of you. What? Oh, this is getting interesting. Saki, don't encourage her. You guys can't be serious. I have no opinion on the matter. Elizabeth, I swear, for M&M's. Wait, Rui's dead? Is she a zombie? No, she isn't. Hence why there's no need for CPR. Don't worry, Rui, I'll do... That's towards my theory. Oh, gosh, Sato, there's literally no reason to perform CPR. Whoa, dude, you sounded tense. Ah, someone's getting jealous. I'm not getting jealous. That's what a jealous person would say. Misaki, shut up! Mickey, thank you! The group breaks out into laughter at my expense. I feel betrayed. Hey guys, you lay off Yama. I'll take one for the team. You know what? I have a great idea. Why don't I just, stay dead? Suddenly a die roll on our monitors breaks the flow of conversation. Who rolled that? Not I. Nor I. It was me. Ari pauses for a moment, glancing at her GM reference before pronouncing judgment. Rui did not die. She has, however, been mortally wounded and taken captive by the enemy forces. What? This doesn't seem to be better than death. Why is my luck so awful? Don't worry, one bit, Rui. We'll save ya. Oh shit, they changed the way that they're all lined up. Masato, from a strategic standpoint, that is impossible. Don't you see how many enemies fortify the base? Ain't no problem. We gotta save Rui. Is this the operative we or the royal we? Remember who you're talking to, Yama. Masato is probably the most literal human being I know. That's true, but... You saying you ain't gonna lift a finger? Tiny one, I charged through the enemy lines like a man. He taps his sight code to roll. And he rolled a 2. You die. Masato's face crumples as if Christmas has been canceled. Oh, maybe you should have said it a little softer. Ah, you died. Not you, Ari! This is a good example of why you must look before you leap. Honestly, what were you thinking? Charging in like a bull is quite possibly the worst strategic decision you could ever make. Yeah, and what are y'all doing? Nothing. Cut me up all you want, but you ain't any better than our enemies standing around like a bunch of dummers. This is punctuated by a very long silence. Oh my. Dummers? Standing around? Yama, let's save Rui! I concur. We must rescue Rui at once. Roger that. Operation Saving Private Rui is a go. Good reference, guys. Tip top. Climb every mountain. Ford every stream. Follow every rainbow till you find your dream. Why are you guys so old? Well, coach, give us the orders. Me? It's the least you can do. You've been utterly useless thus far. Hey, I killed that goddamn thing with a fucking nat 20, alright? Calm y'all tits. Y'all collective tits. I need them all calmed. Yours, 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 and yours. That was way too many. I trust your judgment, Yama. Huh, well, I don't know what's possessed them, but for some reason I appreciate their faith. So it looks like we have to fight through a huge mass of enemies to get Rui. No way around it, this will definitely take some sacrifices. Essentially, my best chance is to use the others to pull forces away little by little, like an elite guerrilla task force. Well, when I think about it, it's not really fair to just sacrifice the others. I'll distract them. Anyone remaining, make a break for Rui. What? Are you sure, Yama? Or is this the famous act of the noble idiocy? The heated fire of his love is unquenchable, even in the face of death. Akira, shut the fuck up. That is going to be my phrase this entire little bit of time left. Akira, shut the fuck up. All simple stupidity. I doubt that this decision is strategically sound. Just get Rui, yeah? I guide my token to the flank of the giant forces. Ari, I throw as many explosives and weapons as possible into the army to draw their attention. This is accompanied with a decent roll. A horde of tokens swarm around me before I can blink. You are now surrounded by clockwork goblins. That's the cue! Fly, you fools! Akira, Elizabeth, and Masaki charge through the newly opened gap with fervor as I quickly succumb to the giant group of goblins. Stay focused, the end is in sight! But just as she utters this, the guards by the prisoner of the war camp seem to double in number. Some goblins were sleeping. Uh-oh. Some? The puny resistance force is quickly stamped out by the new horde, leaving Rui hopeless in the clutches of the goblins. Game over. You are all dead. No, not all of us. Have you forgotten that General still stands? Grover Mecker, mobilize. My firestorm, Ari. Roll. What? Again? You drop your spellbook on your you drop your spellbook on your other toe. I call foul. Something's wrong with RNG, dude. There cannot be anything wrong with the RNG. It simply is an RNG. But it's all right, dude. Getting late anyway. Almost time for my curfew. Huh? Already? I checked the time. It's actually 5:40. I guess we've left the hospital pretty late. Besides, the RP was really fun. And I'm sure it would have been more fun if someone didn't insist on skipping to the final battle without the plan. I also really enjoyed it. My compliments to the GM. Wait, are we leaving? But the high tea just got here. Sure enough, two servers have bustled out of the back rooms, arms laden with trays of tea spots and dainty sandwiches. My stomach grumbles embarrassingly loud. Everything looks delicious. Ah, well, if it's food. He promptly sits down and unashamedly digs in. Well, that was easy. This is all to do to Yahako's great generosity, everybody. Make sure to express your gratitude. Thanks, Yahako. Your gratitude knows no bounds, oh fantastical benevolence. Oh, she's just munching on a peach. I appreciate your generosity, if little else. Thanks, man. Oh, well, you know, this is just pocket change to an Ikari. Note to self, never get on Masaki's bad side. She's totally got Yahako wound around her little finger. I try a scone on the nearest tray. It crumbles delicately into my mouth, perfectly cooked. Wow, this is really good stuff. Thanks, Yahako. But of course. After all, a proper world dictator must keep his minions well fed. At times like this, I wonder if a world run by Yahako wouldn't actually be that bad. Generosity is popular with the ladies, after all. I take that back. I take all of that back. After scooping some treats onto a plate, I return to my seat. Unlike the last time we were together, no one's separated into groups. Everyone is sitting around the same table, chatting with smiles on their faces. It's heartwarming. So, hypothetically speaking, what would you do if all politicians suddenly turned into chairs? Well, they'd all at least be somewhat useful. The authorities do the best they can, you know. Are they at least comfy chairs? If they are, I'd vote for them. How can people turn into chairs? Then again, some topics of discussion are questionable. Hey dude, staring at the lovely angels I see. What? Don't you fret, my good man. I know precisely what you're thinking. You want to woo one of them, don't you? I really don't. Well, you're in luck, because for a limited time offer, Wait, really? I glance at the others. They seem to be immersed in conversation, filling the cafe with a pleasant buzz. Maybe now's my chance to have a little chat with Yako. Say, Yako. I pause for a moment, trying to find the right words. I was wondering, you know, we never figured out why Mr. Ryota, we never figured out why Mr. Ryota's motives. Do you happen to know? As I fumble awkwardly with this message, Yako interrupts me. It's fine, dude. I get it. It's kind of hard to think about, you know? 5 people I know, all gone. His smile is painfully forced. Anyway, I don't understand all these killings. But when I was talking with my mom and dad about it, they got totally stressed. I don't know, it doesn't really make any sense. The police don't seem to have a clue either, man. I mean, Mr. Ryota's an immigrant, but why? Why would he kill 4 kids? For no reason? His voice becomes rattlingly strident, halting all activity in the cafe. Everyone turns to Yako, open mouth, no doubt taken aback by the sudden gravity in his tone. And then in a blink of an eye, Yako's face suddenly flashes back into his trademark grin without a hint of a shadow. What bothers you so, my good minions? Have I captured your hearts? A moment of silence follows. I can see the hesitation on everyone's faces, the hesitation of wanting to help Yako, but not knowing how. His toothy smile, his arrogant front, it's an impenetrable wall that's impossible to break down. Is it possible to help him when he doesn't really want it? It doesn't seem so. Eventually, the group awkwardly returns to conversation. Yako's shoulders slump just slightly in relief. It's jarring to see his personality switch at a bat of an eye, but maybe that's his coping mechanism. Just like mine's is standing from afar, mocking anything I can. Sorry, dude. Anyway, there's a lot of things about Mr. Ryota that still doesn't make sense. It gives me a bad feeling. Kind of like seeing a guy in a French maid costume, you know? No, I can't say that I do. I'll look into it. Yako deserves that much. Thanks, dude. Hey, last sandwich, any takers? We turn back to the commotion of the rest of the group. The trays are almost completely picked clean. Well, that was fast. I guess the cafe's quality speaks for itself. I'll have it. Sandwich. I'd like it. The food is quite delicious. I'm also still pretty hungry. Then there's only one way to solve this. Oh, fuck, Masato, no. A competition! Fucking of course. On second thought, I don't want it anymore. Me neither. Meh. I ain't even said what the competition is yet. What is it? Well, you know, a real man's fair, so how about a riddle game? A what? Honor student and all, Masato, I'm pretty sure Ari can beat you on that front. She's probably one of the most observant people I know. Ooh, I know some great riddles. Why don't we have Rui give the riddles? I doubt any of Akira's riddles would be understandable. Oh, okay. Masato marches in front of Rui, eyebrows focusing on harsh lines on her head. Ari only stares blankly with a quirk of her head. The rest of us gather around them in slight interest. Let me see. There's a 10-foot chain nailed to a wall. The center dips down 5 feet. How far are the ends from each other? Ah, they're on the same nail. If the center's down 5 feet, that means that it's going down and up totals 10 feet, which is length of the chain. Wow, you're right, Masato. That was quick. Why would a chain be nailed to a wall? Huh. Maybe there's some merit to Masato choosing a riddle competition. Okay, next. Okay, A young woman is attending her mom's funeral when she meets a man whom she falls in love with. But after the funeral, she can't find him. A couple days later, she kills her sister. Why? What? Why the hell would you do something like that against your own flesh and blood? This is a dumb riddle. You know it's purely hypothetical, right? Psst, ain't no kind of answer for that disgusting riddle. Didn't the woman want to meet the man at her sister's funeral? A pregnant pause fills the room. Yeah. Da-da-da-da. Really? Isn't that the psychopath test? Maybe she heard it before. The hell? It's dumb. It's dumb is what it is. What kind of shack dumber kills her family for some shallow love at first sight? Psh, bad riddle. Next, Rui. Okay, Mr. Pushy. Oh, I know. 4 old men sat down to play. They played all night till break of day. They played for cash and not for fun, with separate scores for everyone. When it came to square accounts, they all made the same amounts. Not one loss and all gain. Now that you've heard, can you explain? This riddle has our entire group racking their brains. Same amounts. Play for cash? Maybe a highly improbable chance? Oh, I see. That's quite clever, Rui. Oh? What's the answer? Simply put, the mint. No, shut up till I solve this. Elizabeth snorts and rolls her eyes, but stays quiet. Masato begins to pace in agitation as Ari stares longingly at the sandwich. Oh, I know. They were playing day pay. Da-da-da-da. The bank robbery game? Yes. Paid. Payday. It almost went right on over. It almost says, phew, right over the fro. That's, by the way, y'all, I was supposed to say this in the intro, but getting my hair done tomorrow. Or today, for you guys. Earlier today, I got my hair done. Fuck it, you guys will see it. Yes, they played for cash. They had separate scores, but they earned the same amounts. As sensible as that is, I highly doubt that the riddle has anything to do with video games. Sorry, that's not technically the answer. Oh. I'm pretty sure that a dozen kittens just died at that moment. Ah, got it, Rui. The men are all musicians. Different scores, same amounts, playing from night to day. Yep, Masato, 2 points. Ari 1. Ha, knew it. As Rui shuffles through her riddles that she knows, the rest of us lean forward. Even though Masato and Ari are technically the ones completing, the riddles are interesting enough for us all to try. You're woken up at 4 a.m. by a knock on your door. It's from a friend who came for breakfast. You have bread, jam, bacon, and eggs. What do you open first? This time, that's not even a pause for deliberation. Everything at once, of course. Ain't no skipping on hospitality. No, sorry. It's not even physically possible to open 4 containers simultaneously. Psst. You ain't never been real hungry, have you? Okay, Ari, your answer? Don't you open the door first? Otherwise, your friend will be outside. That's right. Da-da-da. Oh, damn. Should have seen that one. At least he has dignity to acknowledge his loss. You know what that means? Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a tiebreaker. Can I hear it from Team Marvelous Masa? Ah, yeah! The cafe falls into a deadly hush. Time ticks on. Right. How about Team Tiny Girl with an infinite stomach? Woo! Go Ari! Think with that brain and think with the minds. Go and kick Masa's behind. Okay. That was actually that was a pretty legit cheer. I'm getting a sudden sense of deja vu. Well, Judge Rui, it's up to you to determine the fate of this matchup. That's a lot of pressure. Looks like this will be the riddle of a lifetime. Okay, let me think. She ponders for a moment, then the stillness of the cafe then clears her throat. Poor people have it, rich people need it. If you eat it, you die. What is it? Masato opens his mouth, but Ari beats him to the punch. Drugs. Another silence. What exactly has Ari been through in life? Poor people have it, rich people need it. If you eat it, you die. It's drugs. Well, I mean, technically speaking, she's not wrong. Rui quickly whips to Masato with a pleading look. Masato, what's your injury? Masato stands quietly, and for a brief second, it seems like a huge burden is on his shoulders. We wait in poised silence for his fateful reply. Finally, he opens his eyes and enunciating every single syllable with crispness. The answer is nothing. Poor people have nothing. Rich people need nothing. If you eat nothing, you die. A stoic stillness falls upon the cafe. Something about his words seem unnaturally heavy. And then Akira breaks the tension with a loud, enthusiastic round of clapping. Well, darn my socks! Looks like we've got ourselves a winner! Yes, right. Rui quickly snatches the lonely sandwich from his plate and thrusts it toward Masato. I hereby bestow upon thee the final sandwich. Go, eat, have fun. Drugs isn't the right answer? Most people wouldn't think of drugs. Does that make it wrong? Here we go. Deep questions by Ari Hiraga. Rui grins in a very panicked manner and promptly grabs my sleeve. Well, it's been fun, guys, but it's getting awfully late. Wow, I'm suddenly so tired. It must be my leg. And I gotta head back. Curfew. In that case, it would be efficient if we all walk back together. No, no, no! Misaki, Elizabeth, Ari, Yahiko, bathroom? Bathroom, time for some girl talk. Wait, what? Hold on. Misaki, Elizabeth, Ari, Yahiko, bathroom, time for some girl talk. Wait, what? Why did Akira call? Oh, god damn it. Oh, yes, of course. Wait, why am I included? And boy, oh boy, Masato is getting really late. You should run back as fast as possible. Right now! Huh? Nah, I'll just walk with... Masato, my man, let's go. And without warning, Yahiko once again grapples Masato's arms and drags him out the door. I'm not sure what caused this abrupt action, given the fact that he should love being alone with a group of girls. Just after their sudden exit, Akira leads the other girls into the women's bathroom without another word, leaving Rui and I alone. Wow, who saw that coming? I totally did. No, that's fucking... Wow, that was really subtle. Incredibly subtle. They should become national spies. Or international. We pause. A sudden idea seizes my mind. A bit of random and spontaneous, but even so. Say, Rui, can you come with me? Where to? The cemetery. It's been hovering in the back of my mind for the past 3 months. You mean, yeah. Are you sure? I mean, up until now, I thought you didn't, I wouldn't want to. You wouldn't be. I want you to come with me. Okay, let's go. Am I gonna go see my sister? We head to the subway and board it in his silence, riding north along the side of the river. All it takes is disembarking the subway and crossing the bridge, and we arrive. The air is beautiful here, but cold. Water is important for speaking for an hour straight. Very important. The air is beautiful here, but cold. Maybe it's solely due to the sight of an endless stretch of memorial stones, but the light feels frigid against my skin. I pull my jacket tightly around me and navigate the cemetery. Although it's been a long time, years, my footsteps easily find their way. Rui lays a gentle hand on my arm, confronting me, but unobtrusive. Comforting me, but unobtrusive. On another day, I might stop and muse at how many stones, how many different stories lie in just one spot. Each engraving a different life, each monument a different family history. But in this moment, I'm focused on just one thing. I pull to a stop in front of a marker by a boundary of trees where a large stone looms from the ground, brisk letters carved into its surface. Ishimoto family grave. Mizu Ishimoto, February 1999 to January 2008. The business card deposit next to the grave is stacked, long neglected over the years. I absently shuffled through a few of them. Reporters, more reporters, teachers from our school, more reporters. Is this the only mark that she made? A story in breaking news significant for just a fleeting moment? She could have grown up to be so much more, but instead, she was just a kid who suffered a tragedy. 3 months ago, maybe I would have been furious at the world. No, 3 months ago, I definitely would have been furious at the world. But now, hey sis, I'm sorry that I didn't bring any flowers or incense. Didn't even grab any water. Terrible brother, aren't I? I'm silent for a moment. Rui's fingers gently squeeze my shoulder. The wind picks up for a moment and sweeps my warm air against her cheeks, almost like a single breath. If I close my eyes, I can almost see Mizu's smile, soft, open, with total understanding. She's still 9 years old in my head, hasn't aged a day. Somehow I doubt that she cares about flowers and incense. So did you get my lanterns? I probably should have visited you sooner, but written communication is the next best thing, isn't it? Silence, again. I swallow past the lump in my throat. Been having some problems about that day, as you probably know. I've always wished that you lived on and that I died. Always. Who knows, maybe if you were still around, no one would have gotten hurt. Maybe you would have caught Ryoto before Shiguri and I could have blinked. That sounds like you. The 9-year-old girl in my head frowns imperiously. All as if to say, Yams, you're totally underestimating yourself. It's okay, sis. I think that I finally realized moping around doesn't change the past. Pretty sad, huh? You'd think it'd be obvious considering that I can't time travel or anything. But I think, in some way, all I wanted to do, really, was remember you. Even if it meant being miserable all the time. Rui's face is coated with tears, but she doesn't say a word. I don't know why she's crying, but something about the sight is touching. So I think I'm finally ready. I'll be moving on, sis. Sorry to leave you behind. Or is it actually that you've gone ahead and you're waiting? I don't know, but I think you could trust me. Not necessarily because of me, but because this girl, the one standing next to me, she's my best friend and she has more responsibility than both of us combined. She's really precious to me. So I'm sure you can trust her. I pause awkwardly, looking down at the stone. I feel so empty. No flowers, no food, nothing. I'll see you later? I step away from the gravestone, but Rui suddenly darts forward. Mizu! I just wanted to say thank you, Mizu, for protecting Yama. He means a lot, so much to so many people. You're a hero, Mizu. So thank you. I feel like you should know that you didn't make a bad choice. Yama, well, is really, really cool. So sleep well, okay? I hope we get to meet someday. She steps away from the stone. I stare at her, flabbergasted. That was quite possibly the highest praise I'd ever received from someone. And she'd said it in front of Mizu. What? It's true. Thanks. She shuffles awkwardly for a moment, then shrugs. We stare at the ground, suddenly intent on studying our shoes. Finally, Rui slides into her nearby bench set up beneath a tree. She leans her head backward and stares at the sky. Why don't we rest for a little bit? I sit on the opposite side of the bench, staring straight ahead. We remain in silence as the breeze brushes past our hands, folded neatly, almost formally in our laps. At this moment, I'm keenly aware of the fact that something between us has drastically changed. It's not a change that I can verbalize, it's something abstract. Snug, but coiled. Like someone's taking the air between us and stretching it all over it, a warm hearth. Yama? I almost jump in surprise. Huh? She pauses for a moment. The tension expands. I keep my eyes on the long column of stones. I hear a slight shifting of fabric, like Rui's taking something out of her jacket. And then a hollow light clunk. From my periphery, I see her pushing something towards me. Something that stretches gently against the bench. Rui withdraws her hands and turns her head away from me without a word. Hesitantly, I reach out and pick up the object. It's a small, long box wrapped in gold paper and topped with crinkled silver bow. It's for you. I pause for a moment, my throat dry. So I gathered. Not like there's anyone else around. Rui remained silent, her face turned away. I gingerly raise the box and shake it against my ear. No sound. It's not like it'll explode or anything, idiot. She's not even looking, and she can tell what I'm doing. That's pretty remarkable. How many fingers am I holding up? Oh, come on, just open it. I pull the ribbon and loose and work my finger into the paper, cleanly separating the creases. A black box slides out, slides out of the wrapping and lands in my hand. It has no branding, but its weightiness in my palm exudes a sense of importance. What is this? If you'd open it, you'd know. I lift the lid of the box, a tiny part of me expecting some kind of bomb. But no, it's no bomb. It's a pin. In fact, it's a very expensive looking pin, with a marble cobalt barrel and trimmings of silver on either end. I gently pick it up from its velour lining, examining it in the scarlet sunlight. It lies heavily in the creases of my fingers, almost as if it's pressing life directly into my skin. Everything about this pin just screams money, and somehow I don't think Yahiko bought this one. I place the bin back in its case, clearing my throat. Suddenly, it's practically impossible to look at Rui. Thanks, I try to say. Thanks for the pin. Thanks for everything. The words stop short in my throat. I awkwardly cough. Oh, wow. You opened it? This is pretty shiny. Do you like it? Well, yeah, it's really nice. Stupid, stupid, stupid! It's a nice pin, but it's more than that. How long has it been since I made that one dumb offhand comment about the amusement park? Embrace the future, Yama. This is the ideal of technology. I'll stick with the pen and paper, thanks. Huh, are you an old man? You don't even use pen and paper. I would if I had a pen that worked. You can always, I don't know, buy one? Now why would I do that? Has Rui been thinking about something so insignificant all this time? My fingers shake as I press the lid over the box, mind racing fast, too fast to track. Rui cares. I've known about it for a long time, but she remembered something random, something trivial, something that really didn't matter. No one even uses pens anymore. No one with common sense, that is. And yet she prioritized it. She invested in it. For whose sake? Mine? I don't even know how to properly thank her, or if I can properly thank her. I turn to her, gripping the box tightly in my hands, grasping for words. Rui. Wait! Before you say anything, I have something I want to tell you. She's still facing away from me, stubbornly keeping her hands on her eyes on the stones. I only sit in numb silence. So I was thinking about, when we argued. And I guess I realized that I don't really give you enough credit. Not out loud, at least. So I just wanted to say thank you. I guess I've been saying it a lot recently, but, you can never hear too much encouragement, right? Why? Why is she thanking me? She already complimented me in front of Mizu, and now... And just so you know, well, Everyone might tease us about it, but this is just a gift between friends. I'm just so grateful. It sounds so cheesy, but I'm thankful that you protected me. In that classroom with Mr. Yoda, I felt so alone. I didn't think anyone would come for me. But there's always hope, isn't there? No matter what. Anyways, all that was to say that this is a gift with no strings attached. I just want you to use it well. And I know that you'll always protect me anyway. She turns to me, the last remnants of the sun streaming through her hair in a river of fire. Every facet of her face lights up in a smile pure, childlike joy, simple to the heart. Thank you, Yama. You're my best friend. And the moment becomes still. It's funny. To another person, maybe that sentence would be offensive. I'm your best friend? That's it? That's all I am to you after so many years? But to me, it feels like the greatest gift I could ever imagine. After Mizu, I never thought that I could ever be normal again. I never thought I could laugh, have fun, or tell stupid jokes to a close circle of friends. To be honest, I never thought that I would have friends at all. Life was empty, gray. I practically lived in a distant corner of the school playground. I can never grow up as a normal kid, not anymore. No one wants to be friends with dopey, boring Yama Ishimoto. At least that's what I believed. The wind gently brushes into a current that threads through us, whispering through the fabrics into a time that never ends. Our eyes are locked, not in tension, not even in wariness. It's in peace, a baseline earthy peace that feels unshakable, a sense of security that cannot be replaced. I feel the corners of my lips slowly tug upwards, pulled unbidden by something light and warm, and my eyes close and I'm laughing. Not like the sarcastic chuckles that have dominated the past few weeks. Not like the sighs of relief earlier this morning, or the snorts of amusement throughout the day. It's something that I haven't felt in a long time. Oh my god. Just a little bit of gas. Quiet, pure, airy. Something that makes me feel like I can do anything. Is this happiness? The emotion swells inside me and my grin broadens until it feels like it'll burst off my face. And then Rui's laughing. She's laughed often, but this time is also different. There's no gap between her breaths, and everything is fluid, almost as if it's pouring out of her. And we just sit there, returning back to childhood, two dorks laughing like idiots in the middle of a cemetery. It's probably disgraceful. We probably look like we're insane. But I close my eyes, and I feel the sun on my face, and I realize that I don't care. Or rather, maybe I don't care about what actually matters. Rui's laughter finally quiets, and she settles back, a light blush coloring her cheeks. If it's okay, can we get together tomorrow? I have something important to tell you. It should be an ominous phrase, but I only find myself grinning. You know that you can just tell me right now. Well, she blushes a little deeper, digging her fingers into her skirt, like she's self-conscious about her uniform. The weather's not feeling quite right. The stars are not perfectly aligned. The horoscopes. Okay, I get it. Tomorrow it is. There's a brief pause. Rui lowers her gaze. Well, we should get going. Rui? Huh? You're my best friend too. She colors deeply at this, but a hint of that light, airy smile returns to her face. I know. You told Mizu. But thank you. So much more I want to say. She's thanked me for so much. She's thanked me for so much. Things that don't even matter. But I haven't thanked her for anything. It was because of her make-believe that I got by Mizu's death. It was because of her support that I've gotten past these few years. The romance conundrum? I don't know. It seems far away, so insignificant. I just want to show her the gratitude that she deserves. But I can't seem to find the right words to say. It's as if anything that comes to my mind gets lodged in there. I guess we'd better head back. Didn't I just say that? You might have, yes. But where are you even staying? Isn't the school closed? Well, it's not like they could just kick us out with nowhere to go. So there's temporary housing for the students in an apartment complex. You going there? Actually, I'm gonna go home. Mom and Dad arranged everything already. All my stuff's there. They're gonna drive me back. I'll wait with you. No, you need to get home. It's getting dark. It's not safe for you to be around. And that makes it safer for you? I'll be fine. Don't forget to come by tomorrow, okay? I'll be there. You better. Bye. She runs over to the edge of the cemetery that lines up with the street. That eases my nerves. At the very least, she'll be in public. I head back to my own apartment, holding this novel, airy feeling, as tightly as I can. The last traces of the sun soaked out of the sky, replaced with the deep shadows of cobalt. It's been a good day. I step in front of my apartment door, reaching towards the keypad lock. Then I hear it. Faint melodies of some classical strain are bleeding through my door. Music, coming from my apartment. The apartment I haven't been to in 3 months. The dizzy glow of ignorant happiness falls away from me all at once. I push the door open quietly, adrenaline spiking in my veins. Of course it's not over. Was I just getting complacent? I inch into my apartment as the music warbles on. Aside from the moonlight streaming through the curtains, everything is dark. I reach to switch the light on, but nothing happens. The music swells to a crescendo. My hands grow clammy. I tighten them against my jacket. Something pricks at the back of my neck. I whip around, squinting at the shadows. Nothing but stillness. I shuffle to my kitchen, keeping my steps light as I extract a knife from the counter. My heart pulses in my throat. Someone in my apartment? Could it possibly be? No, he's under custody. He has to be. Shigure would tell me if he escaped. I inch closer, tightening my shaking grip on the handle of the knife. And then something inches into the light. I know that figure! I know that silhouette! And then something inches into the light, awash with silver. Good evening, Yama-Ishimoto. Natsuki! I know it! Natsuki Tanaka leans against the window, arms crossed over her chest as she surveys me with a patronizing smile. Natsuki. Why is Natsuki here? How did she get here? What is she doing? Did you miss me? Fuck off. My grip glows slack. The knife clatters to the floor. What are you doing here? I wonder. Bitch, this ain't the time. You're in my house. This is how illegal can... Fuck illegal. Everything here's gone on. It's been fucking illegal. Fuck off. You can't just waltz into my apartment. I already have. Get out or I'm calling the police. Go ahead. You believe they would listen? I fall silent at that. My head spinning too fast to track. Closing down the school, withholding information on a crime, setting up Ryota as a scarecrow immigrant. That was you. Oh dear, I could hardly take credit for such a master's work of art. No, I am just an ordinary teenage girl, beset with high school drama and college entrance exams. A sudden thrill of rage races through my veins. I lunge forward, slamming my hand on the glass. Look, Tanaka, I'm not in the mood for games. Oh, that's interesting. I could have sworn you were just playing one. What? Oh, are you feigning ignorance now? I speak of, the RP, of course. How could you? No! I believe we've been over this part before, Yama-Ishimoto. It is hardly of any importance by this point. Bitch! This bitch got me fucking up my damn mic and shit. There. Again I say, bitch! She suddenly twists her fingers into my collar, her face dropping into a harsh straight line. Now what really matters is your sheer ignorance. You should have heeded my words while you had the chance. Your words? That you should have stayed out of this. All of this. She releases me, shoving me back with surprising strength. I barely catch myself against the wall. I caught the serial killer. Isn't that what? Natsuki barks in harsh laughter. What? That little Vaughn? I wouldn't go patting myself on the back for him if I were you. I practically spoon-fed him into your hands. She claps hollowly, every facet of her face aligning in and a sardonic smile. I feel like it was supposed to be satanic. No, sardonic. That's the word. Congratulations, Yama Ishimoto. You think this is the end? You aren't even close. She slides to the door with a cat-like grace, tapping something on her hip. The deadly fugue cuts off abruptly. Oh, and you might want to change your key code. ... There is silence. Nothing but cold, deathly silence. I sink into my sofa, waiting in the darkness of my apartment. Only one phrase thumps through my mind. Ryota in jail? Rui alive? So what? The press is silent, school is closed, and according to Shigure, something's wrong with the police too. I thought I understood everything, but Natsuki is always one step ahead. I thought I was the orchestrator, but it looks like I'm just a pawn. Still too ignorant. Still too weak. I don't know what's going on. But maybe this is when that all changes. Because now, I'm capable of fighting back. For Mizu, who I should have protected. For the smiles of my friends. For the peace and happiness I knew. For the peace and happiness, I guess. How cliche. Maybe it's time to stop staying back, thinking that everything will go wrong. Maybe it's time to move forward. There's something behind all these murders, and I have to figure out what that something is. And I can't do it alone. But I guess I'm realizing that I won't need to. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. I dream of something strange. At the time, it was perfectly clear. Something so vibrant that it almost tangible. There was smoke, something heavy in the air, a kind of blackness filling my lungs. While I was dreaming, I understood everything, but after waking up, it felt vague, a silhouette immersed in fog. I feel like I've missed something important. Normally, I might check if Natsuki stole anything from my apartment. To be honest, though, she doesn't seem like the thieving type. If anything, she's probably just the kind of person who relishes in abject terror of humanity. Instead, I guess I'll wash up and get dressed and do whatever else is routine. Waiting for the moment of truth. Until I meet Rui today. It's a little strange. Now that the day is bright and the sun's shining and the weather is stereotypically beautiful summer day, I find that my head is painfully clear. Cryptic warnings? Whatever. They're only ominous in the dead of night when they're accompanied by a dance macabre. As for meeting Rui today, I can't deny it any longer. She's going to confess to me. She's going to say that she likes me, as in has romantic feelings for me, just so I don't misunderstand. Dummy. Okay, so listen up. Or she'll punch me. And by the way, this doesn't mean that we have to date or anything. She just thought that she should let me know. And she's liked me forever, but just because I'm such a dummy, I never realized it. But anyway, where was she going with this? She had a point. Alright, that she likes me. Yeah, that's all she had to tell me. Then she'll finally stop breathlessly, and I'm supposed to act floored because she was also very subtle about hiding her feelings. Maybe it sounds arrogant, but it's true. I can't deny it. For some unknown reason, Rui Hayata has feelings for Yama Ishimoto. The problem is, the problem has always been, what do I do in response? You'd think that after facing a serial killer together, anything else would pale in comparison. And well, I guess it did. Yesterday. No, for the past 3 months even. But maybe I'm having doubts now that the event is actually imminent. Because for the first time, it's not just something I can push off for later. I'm gonna have to face it. Today. The thing is, I know what Misaki would say. What Akira would say. She likes you and you need her. What's the problem? That's the problem. That's exactly the problem. Rui doesn't deserve anything half-hearted. She doesn't deserve a guy who doesn't even know how he feels, or a guy who's using her for his own purposes. She doesn't deserve someone who's totally madly in love with her. She deserves someone who's totally madly in love with her, who will pursue her to the ends of the earth, who will fight for her like she's... Why do I suddenly think of Masato? Then Masaki or Akira will respond. Well, I'm sure that doesn't matter to her. She likes you for you. And I will respond with, it doesn't matter. It does matter. It will always matter. It will matter because in a few months, Rui will be disappointed, claiming that she's in a one-sided love, that she'll want more from it than I'm able to give. It will matter because if something happens between us, I'll have no one left. Then Masaki and Akira will respond, love is a choice, love is an action, love is not a wishy-washy feeling, you can choose to love her. Then they'll continue, so go, confess, seize the day. And at that convenient moment, Rui will call me and the shoujo manga will be complete. Ah, and speak of the devil, don't tell me this is about to happen. Hey, I know we're supposed to meet up today, but I was thinking that... Yama? My voice dies in my throat and I flop on the couch staring at the ceiling. Hi, Dad? An awkward pause. I hadn't expected this call to come today. In fact, I hadn't expected this call to come... well, ever. What exactly has been going on? I don't hear disapproval in his voice. I don't hear anger. I don't even hear worry. He sounds distant, just like how I feel distant. Nothing much. It sounds feeble coming out of my mouth. Of course, stuff has been happening. They've been paying the hospital bills. They've been receiving notices from the school. Who knows? Maybe Shigure talked to them. I want to hear it from your own mouth. Yama, what's this about a serial killer and Rui and... They weren't supposed to call. They were supposed to be ignorant, able to keep their son at a distance, abiding by whatever arrangement was most comfortable for them. Yeah, there's been disappearances at the school. It was actually because a faculty member at the school was kidnapping students and murdering them. Yes, we heard. I can't believe it. He almost killed Rui. Dead silence follows the statement. I wait, my palms sweating against my pajamas. So a hospital visit. Yeah, another silence. So much for not bothering my parents. Yama, you almost died, didn't you? You better tell me that there was no other option, son, and that you called the police. There wasn't, and yeah, I did. There's yet another silence. It's almost as if we're coworkers rather than family members. To be honest, I can't really say why. It's not like my parents hate me. In fact, I know they care for me. Things used to be different. We were a close family, in a way. Mom and Dad were always smiling, always laughing, always excited about the restaurant. But after Mizu... Son. Huh? Did you hear your mother? I pause. Dad sighs. We're coming to pick you up. Now. Wait, what? Leave? Now? There's too much unfinished. There's too much that I'm leaving behind. There's just too much. Honey, we thought you'd be safe and happy in Asami with Rui, but... I am! Oh yes, I could tell that from the hospital notice, and from the serial killer that was apparently after your and Rui's necks. Dear, please calm down. You're coming back to Yama Ishimoto, and I'm not... And suddenly his voice cracks. Losing my other kid. Just like that, the distance between us shatters into pieces. I fall backwards, my mind failing for explanations. Expectations, guilt, nostalgia. We've been distant for years. We've barely spoken. Most times I don't even come home for the holidays. Because after Mizu died, all they did was push me away. Right? Or was I the one who pushed them away first? I don't remember anymore. All I know is, I don't want to go back. Not yet. I still need to stay in the city. I still have so much to discover about Ryota, about the news, about everything. But it's probably selfish. No, it's definitely selfish. All this time, I thought my parents sent me to school with Rui to kick me out. But it looks like they've just been trying to care for me. Shouldn't I repay this favor? We're getting in the car. Pack your stuff, Yama. We'll be there in 3 hours, honey. On the dot. 3 hours. 3 hours to say goodbye to all the friends I've made, tie up all the loose ends I've left hanging, including my visit to Rui, if I'm gonna visit her at all. What will I even do if I return to my hometown? Sleep, watch movies, waste the day, just like I used to? No, I might not be in Osamu anymore, but that doesn't mean that I can't do anything productive from home. Okay, have a safe trip. Bye-bye, honey. You be safe too. And with that, the call shuts off. I probably should feel relieved or happy or grateful for learning that my parents haven't been ignoring me this whole time. But I only feel blank. Maybe the distance is too much. Maybe it's all too late. I carelessly begin to throw some of my belongings in a luggage, but stop short, checking the time. 3 hours. I have just enough time to visit one friend, then pop over to Rui's house before my parents arrive. Who? Just one person? It seems so sudden. Well, then again, I guess I shouldn't be making this a big deal. I'm not exactly moving to a different planet. Still, if I can only see one person, who should I see? You guys already know exactly who I'm about to click. You guys know who I'm about to pick. If you don't, I don't think you've seen who I've been really growing fond of. There's been two. There's two big choices. As much as I like Misaki, she's not it. Kira's just a little too annoying for my sake, and if I'm being completely honest, Elizabeth is the one that I'm going to go see. Honestly, I'm not sure why I'm making this choice, but here goes. Elizabeth's my favorite, I'm sorry. She is. Hello. Hi. An awkward silence descends between us. Without the hubbub of other friends, the atmosphere feels notedly uncomfortable. We don't even have the consolation of a barrier of hatred anymore. Well, what is it? What are you up to right now? Studying for the university entrance exams. School might have closed, but the tests have not been postponed. Ha, studying. What? You're not... Oh, yes, I see. Yeah, me, and studying... I still haven't the foggiest notion of how you managed to pass class, much less pull partially decent grades. Dashing good looks? Of that I severely doubt. Oh, love, you ever wound me? Don't... Oh, never mind. Why are you calling? Despite her irritated front, I can tell that there's a hint of concern. Might I spare a moment of your time, Miss Bennett? Like I said, I really like this. I really like this so far. I haven't finished Pride and Prejudice, but I really do like the level of teasing that they give each other, because it is very reminiscent of Pride and Prejudice, and I really like that. There's a brief pause before she responds. Whatever for, Miss Darcy. Perchance to tease me at your whim? I'm starting to wonder if it's a good idea to talk to her instead of someone else. No, I need to give her a chance. Merely to exchange a word, Miss Bennett. I request your presence at the... Oh wait, the entire school is closed. I don't exactly want to meet at the cafe, especially since that's her workplace. Is there anywhere else I can have a decent discussion? Oh, of course. Might we rendezvous at the river near the academy, Miss Bennett? It will be for but a moment. You do know what rendezvous implies, Mr. Darcy? A meeting, yes, I am aware. That's not... Oh, never mind. I shall see you there. Farewell, Miss Bennett. She cuts the call without another word, but I push away the creeping doubt. Right, time to head to the river. I leave my luggage in an apartment and head outside, slipping Rui's pen into my pocket. The day is beautiful and bright, sending waves of sparkles skittering across the surface of the Rainbow River. If I hadn't almost drowned in it twice, I might have actually appreciated its beauty. As it is, I can barely bring myself to approach a bench that's a good distance from the river's edge. Elizabeth's already seated on a bench, hand idly pulling at strands of her hair. She seems to be deep in thought. Deep in thought. Top of the morning to you, Your Majesty! Elizabeth jerks away, but to her credit, doesn't let out a sound. Oh, that was sudden. I sit next to her, feeling a little disappointed. What, have you gotten used to the jump scares? I don't get your meaning. You didn't squeal. Instead of getting annoyed, she only glances away. So it seems. What else would you expect, considering that... She stops short. Never mind, just tell me what you're here for. I want to crack another joke, but when I open my mouth, the truth spills out instead. I'm moving. Oh, that's unusual. I didn't think you would continue your studies. Wait, what? Aren't you moving schools, since the academy's closed? I suppose that even if it's a short time, you might learn something vitally important. Huh, that thought never crossed my mind. I'm not changing schools, I'm moving away from Isamu. Whether you stay in Isamu or not does not strictly speaking matter, so long as you're transferring. I'm not going to school. I'm moving back to my hometown because my parents want to get me out of here after the whole, serial killing business. The sudden burst of rage falls just as quickly as it rose. I sink into the bench, wearily pressing my finger against my forehead. Sorry. No, I should have understood. You don't want to move, I presume? Why would I? Because your parents do have a point. You did nearly die. So I'd run away because I was scared? Well, you know, it wouldn't exactly be inconsistent with your character. In the past, you have tended to run away from your problems. I open my mouth to spew a comeback, but something gives me a pause. She's not saying this in a malicious manner, she's just being blunt and speaking her mind. It's actually refreshing. I don't need to second guess what she's thinking. Yeah, I guess I've run away with a lot. But if you think about it, I've only run when there's some place better to run to. I've got a pretty good life here. Been here for what, 4 years? I don't have anything to gain by going back to my hometown. And Isamu is also boasted to be the most prosperous town in Japan. Exactly, no reason for me to leave. I'm glad you can adopt such a cynical view. What can I say? I'm an optimist. Elizabeth twitches her lips, pausing for a moment. And yet, it seems like there may be a reason to leave Isamu. The media? Amongst other things. Ryota's cover-up? Amongst other things. How many of these other things are going on exactly? A whole bloody lot, apparently. Truly, your language is dainty, Miss Bennett. And yours as primitive as ever, Mr. Darcy. We drop into another silence. Talking with Elizabeth without a sense of pure loathing is an incredibly surreal feeling. So you have anything else to say? Besides announcing this sudden move. Like what? Oh, I don't know. But we are by a river, with no one else around. A few weeks after your recovery from a life-threatening ordeal, sitting on a bench together. What, do you think I'm gonna push you into the river? Blimey, you're about as dense as a block of metal. Or maybe I just don't want to think about what you're implying. I think you're reading way too many books, Lizzie. You're getting a little paranoid, no? Oh, shut up. Well, aren't you feisty? Care for a spot of tea? If only to douse you with. There's something comfortingly familiar about the verbal abuse. This time, when we pause, it doesn't feel strained. Don't worry about that kind of stuff. By the way, I already get enough matchmaking when it comes to Rui. Alright. I assume you're going to visit her today? I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to, I guess. What's that supposed to mean? Should I tell her, Elizabeth, of all people? A few months ago, I wouldn't have expected her to mock me. I would have expected her to mock me, or insult me, or maybe even hit me. But then again, today is different. I'm pretty sure she's gonna confess to me. So you're thinking of running away? Surprisingly, though her words are blunt, there's not a fleck of hostility in her voice. Well, when you put it that way. I know that many people believe that the two of you should date. Does that, in a way, only make you more repulsed by the idea? She's taking me seriously. I should be surprised, but I find that I'm not. I'm not exactly repulsed. I just don't really know how I feel towards Rui, I guess. I see. It wouldn't feel fair if we started dating when I don't even know how I feel. That makes sense. I'm proud. You're being very mindful of the situation. I snort at this until I realize she's not joking. Wait, for real? I'm just saying that's what used to bug me the most. I never took anything seriously. Even so. But from my perspective, it seems like you care very much about Rui. You probably just didn't want to hurt her, correct? Yeah. I've read several novels about childhood friends. Sometimes they wonder whether they really like each other or whether they're just feelings or just natural reactions to spending so much time together. Yeah, that's exactly it, actually. She's really special, but... Do you wonder that about Rui? If she is simply mistaking her friendship for feelings? I never thought about it consciously, but I think she's right. quite observant, Miss Bennett. A natural consequence of being well read, Mr. Darcy. There's a small pause. Elizabeth takes a quiet breath. I think you should see her today. Nothing good will come from holding all of this in. In my opinion, the two of you just need to have a proper talk. Like we did. About drastically different things, I would hope. I chuckle. It's genuine. Thanks, Elizabeth. Elizabeth turns back to the water, contemplative. Are you coming back? I'd like to, I guess. But are you coming back? Probably not. She coughs lightly. I glance at my phone. Time to meet Rui. Mind telling the others why I'm moving? I gotta go. Already? Yeah, my parents are coming soon. Should I ask why you'd rather not tell them yourself? There's such a thing as text messaging and email, you know. Can you ask? Of course. Should you? Preferably not. Why not? Because. You know, I have a feeling that you're trying to be a noble idiot who distances everyone and tries to save the world on his own. The insight is sudden, but keen. I find myself remembering Natsuki's visit. I've told myself that the only reason I only really have time to visit one person, but it's not exactly like communicating with people is hard. So then why do I feel so reluctant? There's a very plausible answer that I haven't thought of until now, subconsciously. I still believe that getting people involved will just hurt them. If Natsuki's little drop-in wasn't an indicator of that, I don't know what is. Ha, please, you know me. The only skin I'd try to save would be mine. We both know that's utter rubbish, Yama. I only stand with the best attempt of a disarming smile. Take care, Lizzie. And you. Fuck, I like Elizabeth. I didn't think I was going to by the end of this book, but I like Elizabeth. Damn it, they know how to make a redeeming character quality, okay? I head down to the path to the train station, paying little attention to the good weather. Talking to Elizabeth was unusually comfortable, relatively speaking. Sure, we weren't exactly chatting it up like best friends, but given the circumstances, I'm just surprised that we can hold a decent conversation. I wonder if we have a lot more in common than I originally thought. The journey to the train station certainly feels jarring in more ways than one. Every step feels surreal. I'm walking through light, or water, or some half-formed dream. A distant part of my mind is whispering, moving? It can't be real. This can't be real. Earlier this year, the thought of leaving Asama would be imaginable. I had nowhere else to go. Even now, I don't really have anywhere to go. Well, either way, I need to make Rui before my parents arrive. I board the subway to Rui's house, gripping the pen in my pocket as the tunnel lights glare past the windows. Just go there, just talk with her, just hear her out. I'd like nothing more than to bolt, but this time, ooh. I wish the rest of that would come up so it would stop fucking with me right now, but it's a little bit, a little gassy. It's a little gassy. I like nothing more than to bolt, but this time is a time to man up and face the problem head on. Everything will be fine. Probably. My arrival at District 2 is quiet and unhurried. Both the station and the roads are practically empty. Despite its close distance to the heart of the city, this district takes on some definite suburban qualities. Plants are definitely more plentiful here than they are in the district saved for the boundary by the Asamu Forest. As I jump into the nearest cab, I catch a glimpse of the towering cluster of research buildings that line the roads. The closest thing to skyscrapers in the district, most of them proudly bear the insignia of Way Forward Pharmaceuticals. They didn't play as big of a role as I figured that they would, if I'm being completely honest. Well, I guess that District 2 is known for the medical district for a reason. Hospitals, retirement homes, top-tier specialized treatment centers, District 2 would have it all. I've experienced it for myself, far more than I would like. I dismiss my thoughts as the taxi rolls its way to the quieter side of the district and pulls a stop at the entrance of the suburban neighborhood. A quick payment later, I'm striding into a familiar picket fence house on the corner of the street, surveying the sign hung cheerily on the door. Home is where the heart is, and the heart is where the Hayatas are. Cute. I'd always thought of the phrase as stupidly cheesy when I was a kid, but once you grow up a little, I guess you start appreciating stupidly cheesy things. I stand before the house for a moment, breathing quietly through my nose. This is it. The point of no return. Isn't that what they call it? The moment where it's no longer possible to have 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on land, where the fence is too high to straddle and too thin to balance on. Yes or no? Black or white? A or B? Okay, we get it, motherfucker. Let's move on. It's time for me to make a decision, whatever that decision means. I raise one hand to the door. Pause. One hand. How many lives have been ended with this? Bitch, this is not the time! Roman gladiators took to audiences searching for telltale directions of the thumbs. Execution orders from monarchs all over the world given with a snap of fingers, raising of an arm. Anyone with a semi-automatic in their hand able to fuck a... God, this isn't good. My mind wandering again. I tell myself that the situation isn't even that bad, that really I just need to focus. Now's not the time to lose my head. I raise my hand again and knock firmly on the door, but it gives way beneath the knuckles, creaking openly in silence. Huh, maybe she left it open for me. Then the smell hits. The moment it does, everything is just unbearable. The first thing that hits my nostrils is gassy, greasy smell of something burning, like stir fry left on the pan, left too long in a steel pan. I instinctively cover my nose with my sleeve. The stench presses past my fabric, filtering through the thread like Warren's seam. The house is dark beyond dimly lit. Not a single light flickers within sight. Even on the electronics, every curtain is fastened shut, leaving only stray pinpricks of light peeking through the windows. A strange curdle of fear fastens in my stomach. I push the door wide open, my voice cracking. Uncle, Auntie, Rui? A flood of sunlight washes around my figure, bathing the light in the room in an ivory glow. What it reveals is cruel, unforgiving, as bleak as it is bright. Shards. It's the first thing my eyes land on. Fragmented, torn edge shards of metal, wood, glass, all strewn over the floor and the furniture. Cushions with ragged seams are scattered around the ground, accompanying their toppled armchairs and sofas. The family pictures, unusually in pristine condition on the walls, are hanging askew, frames cracked and pictures sagging through the broken glass. Transfixed in shock, I step forward, my eyes roving around, taking the scene. I pass the narrow doorway that leads into the kitchen. Rui and I used to play tag there back in the day. That, and we try to climb the door frame by pushing it against opposite sides with our hands and feet. Now all I can see is a pan settled on the stove, oil dancing over blackened food. The stove's still alight. Doesn't take a genius to realize that that's the source of the stench. A fire hazard in any other circumstance. And yet, it doesn't feel like the fire is the worst to come. I almost chuckle. Maybe they were preparing for my arrival. Hospitality was always a strong suit. But despite that, abandoned cooking, lit stove, burning food, these signs all point me in the same direction as the destruction before me. Something that winds in a lazy path in the dining room. Glass crunches beneath my shoes as I step by the joining corridor, lifting my eyes slowly towards the dining table. Dread. I had often felt it in my life, that black, slick sensation in the pit of my stomach that sloshed with every step I took. That rose as bile to my throat, that cursed my lungs until I suffocated on my own breath. But I had never felt it like this. I staggered against the wall, my heart stopping cold in my chest. Rui's father is slouched against the table, head pressed almost comically into a bowl of soup, his hands hanging idly at his sides. Blood is coated over the back of his skull, crusting over his neatly kept hair and swimming in the soup that covers his face. His skin is pale, lifeless, his joints solidify from his rigor mortis. Dead. How could this happen? My vision spins angrily before me. I feel an automatic response of my conscience slipping away. No. I wrestle reality back into my grasp, jerking away from the terrible scene. I have to call the police. Get help. Do something. I stumble out of the dining room, jamming at my phone with my trembling fingers when my foot catches against something stiff and creaky, and something very human. Rui's mother. blank-eyed cuts from shattered fragments on the floor covering her body, jaw locked in a shock at an unseen assailant. A bullet hole is planted squarely in her chest, soaking her clothes and the carpet around her with blood. Clutched in her frozen hand is a pitiful capsule of pepper spray, a laughable self-defense when surrounded by such devastation. I shakily pull myself to my feet, my breath coming fast and heavy. Too late. Dead. All my fault. Ta-ta-ta-ta. Rui! Where's Rui? I stagger upward, vision still twisting as I pull myself along the wall and into the kitchen. She might still be alive. She might be okay. My own mind ridicules this senseless hope, and yet I feel strength bursting into my limbs, clearing my mind for one vital minute. Let's invent a little story. Let's say that once upon a time, a terrible murder occurred at an unsuspecting Foss suburban home. Two accomplished adults, beautiful and gentle adults, were brutally shot to death. Let's say that their home was ravaged. The shards of wood, glass, metal, and ceramics littered the ground so heavily that it was impossible to take a single clear step. But let's say that their sacrifices were not in vain, that despite this blindsided crime, the daughter, their precious little girl, was able to escape. The daughter found refuge. She waited for her friends. She was terrified, she was upset, but she was alive. Let's invent this little story, and let's pretend that it's true. Let's sleep in peace, wrapped with hope, ready to fight for a brighter tomorrow. But stories, no matter how beautiful, are always so wrong. Because in the kitchen, there is an island counter. At the edge of the island counter, there's a sickening lump of blood that lazily oozes down the cabinet. And below the island counter lies something very, very mocking. The hope that had dared to rise in my chest crashes down in my lungs, driving all breath from my body. My eyes are peeled open, unblinking, as if staring will somehow get rid of this sickening display. No, this isn't true. I crumple against the floor, splattering blood all over my knees. I taste something metallic on the corner of my tongue. Visceral memories, barely 3 months old, surge to my eyelids. No, this was over. Everything was over. Isn't true, isn't true, isn't true, isn't true. Pipes screaming, wood on metal, and knives sinking deep into flesh. No, 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 no. I seize the nearest object, a renegade shard from a nearby shattered bowl, and gash it violently against my skin. It should skitter across the surface, or glide like ice, or feel distant, quiet, 7 worlds away. But my arms shriek in protest as the edge digs into the flesh, drawing slow, weeping blood. I can only stare as it throbs. Not a nightmare, not a dream, nothing but reality. Bile claws up my throat until it writhes against my mouth. I barely manage to turn away in time. Digested saliva drips from my lips and seeps into the cracks of the tile floor. A vision, a hallucination, some other explanation. Not this, never this. My sweat is ice cold against my skin. I'm shivering with such intensity that my bones rattle in my eardrums. Pipes, knives, vomit, blood. Smoke, flooding, exhaust. No. This was supposed to be over. This was supposed to be behind us. She was safe. She made it home. She wasn't at school. She was safe. I forced my eyes to drift down, engraving every corner, every color, every spike of light into the deep recesses of my mind. Eyes glaze, mouth slightly agape, a remnant of surprise. She's dressed nicely, so nicely. I don't even remember the last time I saw her out of her uniform. She's even wearing jewelry. I choke over my own voice. Right. She thought of dressing nicely today. She thought of meeting up with me. We were going to have a little dramatic scene. Something to do with I like you and me too, maybe. We were going to eat together with her family, maybe being embarrassed, maybe being understanding. Who knows what decision we would have come to. But that is a different world. I reach to her cheek, touching her jaw with the edges of my fingertips. There should be warmth, pulsating life. I almost expect to feel her breath against my palm. Cold, still, unnatural, mannequin manufactured by fate. A small sigh expels from my lips, washing against my bangs. Rui, wake up! Her eyes are open. Her eyes are open, unblinking, a staring contest on the other side of life. She's not here. I retract my throbbing arm back to my side, slumping unceremoniously against the kitchen island. Shouldn't I scream for help? Shouldn't I wail in anger? But I only feel a numbness settling over my skin. Something deep, calm like a lake frosting over it in its face of fresh snow. Of course it would be Rui. Just like it was Mizu. There doesn't need to be any logic. There doesn't need to be any sense. All there has to be is cold, unforgetting injustice. All there has to be is misery, pain, and suffering. Death can strike wherever it pleases, so long as it receives its ample reward. I throw back my head. I laugh. It reverberates in the empty, splintering ceiling. Beautiful, I muse. It's a cold kind of beauty, but it's beautiful. Just like death. My eyes drift under Rui's face. I only stand there in irreplaceable calm, stilling all other thoughts. I can almost see it from here. Her fragile, pale body laid gently against the ground like a princess in slumber. Maybe she'd be smiling a peaceful smile I'd like. I'd like that. She would be lovely, quiet, vulnerable, weak. She'd be standing here, frozen in shock, the images swimming before her in a macabre production. Weak. She'd be trying to call the police, but her fingers would slide across the bloody surface of her phone to no avail. Weak. I wish that we could trade places. I wish that I would be the one lying on the floor, and she would be the one slumping against the wall with her useless phone clasped in her trembling fingertips. I wish that I would be the one with my jaw solidified in horror, and she would be the one with a peaceful, emotionless smile. I wish that I would be gone, drifting away in a soulless wind, and she would be here, her spirit tortured and rent apart. But alive. I've wished many things, most of them too ridiculous to name. This, too, must be ridiculous. My vision blurs. Perhaps I care, perhaps I don't. Something clatters to the ground, steep gently in Rui's pool of blood. Time wears drearily on. I see nothing. I hear nothing. There is nothing in my mind but a pale reflection, a glimmer of scarlet ribbon fixed behind my eyelids. The clock ticks. I talk. Of all people, Rui Hayata. We just escaped a serial killer. We'd just been stretched to our wins. We'd just been in intensive therapy for 3 months. That was certainly a hefty debt for a life to repay. An innocent, gentle-hearted girl, thrust into something that snatched away her ability to talk. She deserved the world. She shouldn't have grown up. She should have grown up, married a guy who was madly in love with her, had 1.6 children, lived in a house with a white picket fence. But this? What is this? This is beyond simple injustice. This is just cruelty. Life is cruel. Death is cruel. And Rui has to pay the price for the damned little games. Treating her like a pawn on a chessboard is an insignificant sacrifice for a meaningless pay. I can't stand it. She never deserved this. Any of it. I lash out blindly. The heel of my foot splinters against something wooden, stabbing deep into my leg. The pain feels distant, like my limbs are detached from my head. Might as well be. After fighting so hard to keep all of it together, slamming ourselves repeatedly into a wall until it shattered with our broken bodies, Rui is still dead. Then the pain, a hammering, hollow circle of agony in my arm and my foot, drives me to a sudden frenzy. I'm assaulted with a sensation bright and fierce and angry, corkscrewing directly into the marrow of my bones. No Rui, no more Rui. No more bright smiles and flushed cheeks and teasing winks and exasperated loving little sighs. My calf clenches in sudden agony. I bite the inside of my cheek to keep from screaming. No more. No more fretting like a mother hen and totally extra lunchboxes and tiny little signs of jealousy. The throbbing in my arm rises to my shoulder, past my neck, right into my skull. I cradle my head in my arms, desperate. No more casual trips to GFC and a random moment of make-believe and strolls around town. Because life as you know it, is gone. Tears squeeze from below my eyelids, mixing with flecks of blood and bile smearing all over my face. Stop. 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 Just make it all stop. Not Rui, not Mizu. There's pain, so much pain. Too much. I can't handle it. I can't handle this and everything hurts. I just can't. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jill fell down, and Jill fell and broke her. And Jack came tumbling after. Then Jill's corpse comes to life. It jerks upright, limbs tied to the loose ends of puppet strings. Smiles at me through the sheen of red. Oh, Jack, you're late. Iron shoves up my nostrils and strangles down my throat. I choke, working to speak. Sorry. She pitches forward, pushed by something invisible. Her slender fingers wrap around my neck and dig into my throat. I catch a whiff of her breath, putrid, rancid, a smell of raw, old eggs, decaying meat. The smell makes me gag on my own tongue. You shouldn't have been late. Her fingers are... By the way, it's by Jill, in case you're not seeing this. The things I've been saying, you shouldn't have been late, that's from Jill, not Rui. But I'm guessing Rui is taking the place of Jill, right? I don't know. Her fingers disintegrate into bones, skin cells blown to ashes on the wind. They clatter into an ordinary pile, forming a makeshift xylophone. Tiny little notes begin to ripple from the skeleton surface. It's supposed to be a melody. I can feel the vibrations in the air, and I know the song is supposed to be beautiful, but my ears only hear dissonance, canopy, a dirge for a murder of crows. A pungent, burning smoke shoots from the stove like an arrow slapping me in the face. Hospitality? It should have been hospitality. Don't do this. Come back, Rui. My surroundings melt away. I squint against the screeching, agonizing white that stabs at my eyes. The light only intensifies. No rest. Never rest. Light says, you are trapped, you fool. There is no place for you. I reach out. The brightness pricks my hand. I slither backwards. Stop it. Stop it. The light advances and digs under my fingernails, bleeds past my eyes, settles in the space at the back of my neck. I pound myself against the invisible walls. I rattle, chimes on the wooden bridge. No place, no peace, no pace. Stop it! Everything ends. Elsewhere, something must be beginning. But what is that to an ending? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I can't do anything about this. This is out of my control. Out. To be continued. Sebastian Diamante. What? What? Okay. It took me some time to process what the fuck just happened. So give me a second while I just bring that back to you. Okay, so all was well and good. We put Ryota in jail. But then Natsuki's bitch ass comes through to my apartment and is waiting for me to come the fuck home. To give me some cryptic ass message about I shouldn't have been involved. I didn't have a choice to be involved. I was made to be involved. As much as she says she spoon fed me, I was made to be involved. I don't know what I'm made to be involved. In memory of Elbur. Mad love to Elbur. I don't know who that is, but apparently he played an important part. He got his own spot. Thank you for playing Lucid9. Guys, this story does not fail to throw me curveballs. I don't understand. I don't get it. My God, this game. Fuck happily ever afters, huh? Just fuck them. Who cares? No one can be happy at the end of this. Rui is dead no matter what you do. Even if you get the good ending, she died in the end. What type of BS? We don't know what happened with Yahuko. Why was Yahuko the main focus? Why was he the main focus? Why was it all the people around Yahuko that died? Rui died no matter what. Is Ryota still alive somehow and is locked up in jail, but he still has connections, so who knows to say that he's not still running around? And then Natsuki, what the fuck is her problem? And then Shigure didn't say that she's disappearing. She's still around. There's way too much going on. There's so many unanswered questions. And as much as that sounds like a bad thing, that means there's more for another series behind Lucid9, and I'm of course ready to play it as soon as it comes out. I want to know about it. I will be following Fallen Snow Productions. I want to say that's the correct. I fuck up their name every time. I love them, but I fuck up their name. I will be following this. I will be following this. The moment there is another release going on, I don't care if I'm in the middle of another story time, this is getting played immediately, the next one, because this is ridiculous. This has been the most attached I've been to some of these characters in a very long time. This is some of the best writing, some of the best story just to be delivered. I haven't seen many visual novels that had this mystery air about them. So this is amazing. I loved this. I loved this, all of this, and I can't wait for whatever they do next with this. I can't wait to see what comes out of the second part of this. I will throw money at their face if I need to make sure that I get another one of these. I need it, because there's way too many unanswered questions that I need answered. One of them will never be answered. What was the answer to come out of me and Rui talking? I will never know that now. Rui's gone. Her whole family is erased. And I'm laughing madly in their living room. Where are my parents gonna go into this? How hard is Masato gonna take this? I still think Masato had a thing for Rui and we just didn't recognize it. And I feel like he had the love more than I did. And if she was still alive, I feel like Masato would have been the one to get her. But what are we missing? Guys, there's so many questions, so many unanswered things. There's so many. Play this game. If you like visual novels, play it. It needs to be played. It's so good. It's a very good experience. Of course, I've given you a lot of answers, but there's tons of ways to play this game at your own leisure and your own pace to find out way more. There's so much. If I hadn't already dragged this out for way too long, I would play more of this game. but I've dragged this on for way too long. This next Saturday, you'll have a new Storytime Saturday. And it won't be this heavy. Lord Christ, this was heavy. This was great heavy though. I loved it. This will deliver the perfect amount of fun and daunting. It was the perfect amount, and it was a really good payoff. No, okay, no, it was a really good payoff until that final scene, which now puts us in a what the fuck is happening next type of thought pattern. But you know what? I'm okay with it because I totally want more of this. There's way too much that they've developed in this story and this lore. I want to know what's going to happen with the pharmaceutical company that they talked about so much. Like, of course, we went there and we were brought back with it because, you know, kind of had to go up against a serial murderer. But besides that, I want to know more about that pharmaceutical company. There's obviously something there. There's something with Limniscape and Yahako's parents that we need to find out. And that'll probably have to happen in the second book, but you know what? Fuck it. Guys, that ends this Storytime series. Let me know what your thoughts on this were. I know exactly what we're going to be playing for the next couple of weeks, and then after that, I have another one that's going to be a little more chill, but both of them are going to be very, very chill, and I'm excited. They're going to be fun, and that's going to be cool and all, but this will hold a place in my heart as one of probably my favorite visual novels in recent times. It honestly will. This is such a good story, and it's so good. So, and again, mad love to Fallen Snow Studios. Again, hopefully I'm not fucking up your name because I know I'm really bad at it. But you guys are dope. As much as I can never remember your name because it's just slightly too long. I love you guys. You guys are doing awesome work, and I can't wait to see what you guys do next. I know you guys, if you might not actually watch the videos, but you guys at least like it, so I appreciate that. If nothing else, you guys have been really avid supporters. Every time I send you my video, that you guys have been like, this guy's cool, and sometimes you retweet it and all that type of ish, so I appreciate that as well. Again, if you guys are watching this to the end, which I doubt that you really do, but nonetheless, I appreciate it. This was a fantastic experience that I will not forget anytime soon. I will probably forget the character names for a bit, but besides that, I will cherish this novel. It's really, really good, and I'm so happy to say that I have completed this on my channel. So guys, all that being said, and all that high praise being given, let's end this here, guys. It's been Perkling. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.